Hi guys, today's lesson is the big one, putting. Now I absolutely love putting, and when I'm playing in tournaments now, play against some of these young lads who are knocking it 40, 50, 60 yards past me. But when we get on the putting green, I know I'm as good as any of them. I see a little bit of fear in their eyes sometimes. That gives me even more confidence. I absolutely love putting, but it wasn't always the case. So as a young professional, 19 years old, hadn't won any money, played in the Bull Bay Pro-Am. I was 4 under through 10. The 11th hole's a funny little quirky hole. Knocked it to 3 feet, had a putt to go 5 under. All of a sudden, I'm standing over my putt, start to panic a little bit, struggling to breathe, gripping it tighter and tighter, knuckles going whiter. I'm thinking, don't miss it on the right, don't miss it on the left. Missed a putt, and for the next 7 holes, I'd gone. Had maybe 3 putts, finished one over par. I was having my lamb post Pro-Am meal with the Welsh team. It all went quiet. They were starting to speak in Welsh. I drove home in tears and I said to my dad, look, I'm going to really struggle playing this game professionally. My stroke can't keep up under pressure. It breaks down. What am I going to do? So I changed 2 things, vitally important, 2 things. First thing, practice. I used to practice under pressure. That's what I started to do. I used to practice when I was at Presby Golf Club, where I was working at the time. I had a 10-foot mat. I could stand there all day knocking putts in from 10 feet. An attractive member would walk past the window. I could even knock them in looking at the member. But then get on the golf course and it felt like a completely different game. So Annika Sorensen was in form at that time. She was a phenomenal putter, and she used to, before she went to bed every evening, she used to knock in 3 putts from 3 feet, 3 putts from 6 feet, 3 putts from 9 feet. If she missed one, she used to start the whole process over again. So she could have been out there all night, comes to a last putt from 9 feet, misses that, she's got to start all over again. So all of a sudden you're practicing under pressure. So that was massive. I did that practice drill, but I could feel myself all of a sudden putting well under pressure. The second thing I did was have a good routine. So every single putt I hit, I wasn't standing in the pro shop at Presby whacking the balls in the hole and looking around and scratching my head. I went through every single putt with a lovely routine, which was play every putt with great desire and passion and concentration. Have 2 practice strokes, 1, 2, then walk up to the ball and just repeat that lovely, smooth, relaxed practice stroke. So all of a sudden, and the final bit of that routine was standing over the actual putt, smiling. My coach made me smile. So when I got on the golf course, I'd repeat that routine and I'd have an important putt and I'd start to smile over the 3 and 4 foot putts, whereas before I'd been absolutely sweating over them, gripping it for grim death. So those 2 things all of a sudden, maybe took a month, 2 months, they started to filter into the golf game and turn me from being a nervous putter, someone who thought they'd have to pack the game in, to being a really good putter, and it's definitely a strength of my game now. Okay, a couple of tips to work on. We can maybe talk about routine in a future lesson. But 2 things with your putting, you may do these already. Grip's really important, left-hand grip. We've got to hold the putter in between these 2 pads of our hands, not in our fingers like we do with an iron. So we've got to hold it there. So the best way to do that, hold the club with your fingers, as you do with your irons, and then just relax, let the club slip, and all of a sudden, the putter's in the correct place. So, hopefully you can't see the shaft now. My old grip in my fingers, you may hold like this. If your wrist break down, the club face will twist. Hold it in the palm of your hand, just like so, and the shaft will run up your forearm. So if your wrist break down, the putter will still stay aiming at the target rather than opening and closing. The second thing you might want to work on with your putting setup, again we touched upon it with the throwing drill. If I was holding a big bucket of water, I wouldn't hold the bucket out like so. I'd tuck my arms in to give myself some nice support. So when I'm putting, I want some support. I want to feel solid. I don't want to be wobbling around. So elbows above hip bones, tuck myself in, and that's my putting setup like so. Helps me to rock my shoulders rather than stirring porridge. So 2 little things to work on. But don't forget, I know a few of you out there may struggle with your putting. Doesn't make you a bad person. On tour, the players constantly fighting the demons. The chipping may go off, the putting may go off. You've got to get on it and work on it, but work on it intelligently. Hopefully that helps. Thanks a lot.